Guys, it's Lady Bella here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I will be teaching you a productivity strategy, which is time blocking. It basically helps you manage your time, stay focused, stay accountable to your own time, and generally be productive. So let's get straight into today's video. Before I proceed, I need to make you understand what time blocking is. And basically, when you hear time blocking, what comes to mind? You're blocking your time, right? But in this case, you're blocking your time to be able to get something done, to be able to get work done. So this is something that has helped me personally, and I thought to share, and I know it's going to help you too. So if you're someone that works from home, or you just generally like being productive, or you work from an office, or you own a business, or you're in school, this technique is for everybody, right? And how you basically go about time blocking is, first of all, you need to highlight all the things that you need to do. So I'm a sucker for to-do list. You write out all the things that you need to do. Write it out, bullet point it. Okay, number one, it doesn't matter how plenty or how little it is. Just ensure that you pen it down, because when you pen it down, it helps you not to forget and it helps you plan. So after writing down your content or writing down the tasks that you're supposed to do for the day, you now identify the priorities. What am I supposed to do first? What is the most important thing out of these tasks? What are the ones that I can delegate to somebody if I don't end up doing it, right? So you need to identify the most important tasks, and by the time you have identified them, you batch them together. So what I mean by batch them together, there are some tasks that are similar. So let's say you want to send out letters, or you want to respond to emails, or you want to have meetings. There are some tasks that are actually similar, and the best thing to do is to just batch them. Okay, so if I will be sending out emails, I want to allocate XYZ time to XYZ time to be able to send out these emails to everybody. And you just basically list out the emails that you have to send out for the day or respond for the day, and just do them at once. Same thing with the other tasks. And by the time you're done batching all the tasks that you're supposed to do, now you start blocking them out in your calendar. If you're not so much of a calendar person, you can do them in your planners as well. So in the planner method, all you need to do is, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., I'm doing this. From 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. I'm doing this, 12 p.m. rather. From 12 p.m. to maybe 2 p.m. I'm doing this. So you're basically putting that down in your planner and assigning timelines or deadlines to it. But in your calendar, it helps you make things easy because everything is automated. So you need to click on the button, or click on the plus button, add the tasks that you need to do, add the timeline, and you're good to go. It's as easy as that, right? And one most important thing that I need to point out before we move on from here is that always add breaks to your calendars. Honestly, it's not I don't know if you've watched my video on Pomodoro time management technique. If you haven't watched that video, then you should check the link in the description box. I'm going to append the link somewhere. So ensure you watch that video where I explain to you the importance of taking breaks when working, right? It doesn't matter if you're working for yourself or you're working for somebody or you have something really urgent to do. Always try to add breaks, right? So even in your planners, even in your calendars, ensure that you add breaks to each of these things. So let's say you finish 2 hours of work, ensure you add break, maybe at least 10, 15, 20 minutes, depending on how much you have, like that. So after every task has been done, ensure you have break times. And then one final thing that I would love to mention is always keep your calendar flexible. Your time blocking experience should not be so choked. You cannot choke yourself like that with work. It's not only you, not be only you waka come. If they want to choke you with work, you say no grief for anybody. Choke them back with your free time. Okay, so you need to rest. You're a human being. You need to rest, you need to recharge, you need to keep your calendar flexible, because honestly, life takes turns. Like some really strange things can happen, some really unpredictable things can happen, and you just cannot control it because your calendar has been fully blocked. You did not keep any flexible time that you can maybe hop on that quick call with your manager, or call your mom, or call your dad, or call anybody that adds value to your life. No, you don't have to make it so tight, right? Try to keep your calendars very flexible, such that if unpredictable events happen or take turns, then you'll be able to just zoom in, check out your calendar, see the free time you have, and then just go straight into fixing the meeting in your free time, and you're good to go. So it doesn't have to be that difficult.
And then I get to hear people say, when you're not Otedola, or when you're not Bill Gates, when you're not Elon Musk, why are you putting your phone on DND? What did I want to give you contracts? Blah, blah, blah.
See, people, I have suffered ADHD. Let's just say, ADHD. I have suffered ADHD for a while. I understand what it means to work with distractions. In fact, naturally, I get distracted a lot. Now, adding external distractions, nah. People have different ways of working and staying productive. I also have my way, and for me, majority of the things that work for me is to look out for those things that help me stay productive. So if I have to put my phone on D&D, block out my calendar and focus on work, then I will do that because it helps me stay focused. If I have to be listening to music, if I have to be taking calls in between, and then I don't get distracted, then I would do that. So at this point, I would say, do not feel scared of putting your phone on D&D when you're working, because honestly, if you have any serious bill to pay today or any serious problem, those people that are calling and distracting you probably will not come through, right? Except you have really important work to do or important appointments and stuff like that, then you know better not to put your phone on D&D. But if you have to put your phone on D&D to get productive, by all means, please do it. I, Lady Bella, said it. Okay? So yes, these are the tips that I would love to give you before I dive into a quick tutorial on how to time block your calendar. Okay, so let's get straight into how you can actually time block your calendar using the Google Calendar. So while this video is ongoing, feel free to ask questions as much as you can in the comment section, and I'm definitely going to give responses to it.
Hey guys. Okay, so thank you so much for getting this far in the video. We are about to get into time blocking. So today's date is 12th February. Actually, the same day I'm going to be uploading this video. So yeah, let's get straight to it. So I have here time blocking second week of February 2024. Now remember that in the video that you just finished watching, I listed out a couple of things that you need to take into consideration when time blocking your calendar. We have listing out of tasks, highlighting priorities, batching of similar tasks, scheduling of tasks, adding breaks, and making your calendar flexible. And we are basically going to follow this order to get this done. So I have already prepped these templates, just as you can see here. You can follow this method if you would like to do same. So what I'm going to do now is to list out all the tasks, possible tasks. Now at this point, if you're creating tasks, you don't need to limit yourself, and you don't also need to, try to mention every single thing. You can just work with what you have at the top of your head, and if you don't do it weekly, you can decide to do it daily. This is supposed to be, let me do this, time blocking 12th February. Yeah, so let me do this for today. You can do that for your week, for your month, that's fine. But the reason why I am restricting it to just daily blocking is because this is what the calendar looks like. I had to switch to a different calendar, but then yeah, this is what the calendar looks like basically, and you can be batching your tasks on a particular day. Then you can decide, maybe when adding your tasks or whatever, you can decide to extend it and make it a whole month stuff. And also we're getting to that shortly, but then let's go back to this. So what do we have to do today? Let me just type out some possible tasks that I would like to do today. Some of them might be fictitious though. Some of them might be real, but I mean the end goal is to type out tasks. So Yeah. Okay, so we are done writing out some task. Now, the first thing that we need to dig into, let me take this here. So these are our tasks. So I'm going to take them under list out our task. So the next thing now is that we need to highlight the priorities. Give me a second. Let me just format this guy. So we're going to use heading 3 for all of them, just so you know. Okay, orange, heading 3, turn into heading 3. Okay, so we are done listing out task. We're done listing out the tasks which are here. They're all here. The next thing is highlight priorities. So what I mean by priorities are those tasks that you have to compulsorily do. Now, you can agree with me that there are certain tasks that you might end up asking someone to help you do it, or it's not so important, so you can actually skip it and do it the next day. So highlighting priorities, you need to look at deadlines and the importance. So for instance, I have here batch film YouTube content for the week, give feedback on submissions, and have a call with 2 of my design students from Design Lab. Now that sounds more of a priority kind of task because I have to give feedback and I need to have a call. So we're going to move that to priorities. And then call mom, join a work meeting. Obviously, work meetings, I mean, I'm working to get paid, so it's obviously a priority. So I'm going to move this here. Sync with the backend engineer on our project's progress. This is also work related, so we're going to shift it to priorities. Plan a content schedule for the week. Write 4 paragraphs of my article, read Psychology of Money, go for dance classes, respond to my emails for the day. This is also a priority. Now you notice that I have some things here and I have some things here. These are priorities because these are things that, first of all, I need to do them before going on to any other task. Batch filming YouTube content for the week. Today's Monday. My videos go out every Monday and Fridays. That simply means that if I have a video ready for Monday, it means I have between Tuesday and Thursday to film other videos. So if I am not able to batch film today, it's very easy for me to shift this task over to another day. Now, calling mom. This is also important, but then if because of work I end up not calling mom, I can always call her. I don't know if it gets where I'm coming from. Now, this is just to call and check up. If it's something that has to do with a health checking or an emergency, obviously this would have been moved to priority. You get my point? Then we have plan a content schedule for the week. Now, at this point, this isn't a priority because I already have a content schedule that I used last week. So if I don't end up finishing the important work that I have to do and decide last minute, okay, I think I can just use the content schedule that I used last week, it's very easy for me to do that, right? But if I didn't have a content schedule at all, or if I am running sales, or even having a different thing happening this week, then this would have been a priority. Writing 4 paragraphs of my article. Of course, this is an article. It's something that needs to go out at my leisure time. So it's not really, really important. I'm writing because of passion, not like it's getting me money, or not like someone asked me to do it. So I can always do it much later or push it to another day. And then we have Read Psychology of Money. It's a book that I need to read, which is obviously self-improvement and all. But before I get to read this book, I have to finish work or business, right? Same thing goes for dance classes and all. There are lots of tasks to always look at when prioritizing, and just ensure that it follows that pattern. The most important ones, the semi-important ones, the least important ones, and the ones that you can just wave, right? Okay, so we're done with that part, and then now we go over to batching of similar tasks. Honestly, you don't even necessarily need to batch a similar task. It's not compulsory, but sometimes I do it just so I have focus, or just so I have a particular pattern. So what I mean by batching similar tasks, for instance, if you go through this list, I have something like give feedback on submission. So giving feedback on submission obviously has to do with writing. So I'm going to move that here. Now, join a work meeting, no. Respond to emails for the day. Now, this is also something that has to do with writing, so I'm going to move it here, right? So this is how to batch tasks, this is how to prioritize tasks, and this is how to list out your tasks. Now, based off of what we have here, I am now going to go over to our Google Calendar. So at this point, you can visit calendar.google.com, log in with your email address, and you will be here. So right now, I am going to show you how to batch your task or schedule your task. So we have here, let me just give you a walkover. So these are different calendars you have. You see, we have task, birthdays, events of Figma Africa, holidays in Nigeria. You can toggle this to close this if you don't like that view. And then you can always add new calendars if you want. So you can subscribe to a calendar that's already in existence, browse other calendars, create new calendars, import calendars, or get URLs of calendars, right? But that's not what we're here for. Then we have this calendar view that just basically shows you what today's date is, as highlighted here. We also have this other view that expands and shows you what you have for the week. Now you can toggle this here to show the tasks you have for the day, for the week, for the month, for the year, like that, right? So I am going to, since we are creating tasks for the day, I'm going to come back to this. So also have, you can switch the task if you want. So this is what tasks looks like. More like creating a to-do list. Yeah, this is what tasks looks like. And now we also have this setting icon. So today is not about me showing you or giving you a walkthrough of how the calendar works, or how to create tasks. So you notice that in batching our tasks, we had several things. In writing out these tasks, we had something called priorities. Obviously we're going to have other group names like semi-priority, list priority, so we're going to create different calendars for those priorities. So let's say we're going to click on add other calendars, create a new calendar. It's going to bring you to this page, and then we're going to see priority. You don't need to add a description. Make sure you're on the right time zone, and then you click to create calendar. So you wait for that to create, and it just basically says calendar creation in progress. So wait for that to create, and it has created. Now we have it here, priority. Since we're on this page, we're going to try to create 2 more calendars. We can say semi priority. You click on that to create and wait for it to load. Okay, and then we are also going to create the final one, least priority. So we're going to wait for this final one to create, and then we go back. Okay, great. So it's been created. You can configure this if you want. So by configuring, you can make changes. You can make this public. You can add all the invitations. Then you can do so many things, notifications and all of those things. Now that's not what we're here for. So I'm going to go back. Now you notice that we have. Let me just hide. Okay, let's go back. Let me hide those calendars. I'm gonna hide birthday. Yeah, then we're gonna go back. So we have list priority, semi-priority task. Well, let them just be here, I guess. And you notice that it has various colors. You can always click to change the color if you don't like a particular color, or you can always add this plus icon, get the color code that you're trying to add it, and you'll be good to go. Save it. So now to create our task, you simply click on this. You can create an event, task, appointment. For me, I like using events because all the calls, the meetings that I usually have always show as events in my calendar, and I also need to follow that same pattern. So once it brings out this pop-up, you click on more options and then you go back to your task. So we have join work meeting. So today's February, you set the time. So let's say work meeting is by 2 to 3, set the date, change time zone if you want, and then these other settings. Add Google Meet information if there is one, or if there's no Google Meet information or any other thing like that, you just need to leave this empty. Now you can add other notifications. Let's say you're someone that likes to be reminded multiple times about a particular thing. This is the time. You can add as many notifications as possible, and then remember that calendar we created. It will showcase here. So you just click this, select priority, select color you want. Decide if you want to keep this as busy or free if somebody views your calendar, and you click on save. So you're basically going to do the same thing for every other task. Okay, so I had to do a I had to do a quick calendar blocking to show you what I mean. So you see that most of the tags here have been added. If I click on this to view, you can see here sync with the backend engineer on a progress report. Now once it gets to this time, you're going to receive the notifications that you set, just the way I showed you. Some tasks might overlap, especially if it has to do with work or if it has to do with something you cannot control. That's totally fine. But then you see here that between this task and this task, I have so this is from 4 to 6 p.m. and then 6:15 to 7:45. So I have over 15 minutes, right, to relax. This is what I call breaks, and your breaks can range from 15 minutes to 20 minutes to 30 minutes to 1 hour. And don't forget that when batching, when scheduling your time blocking your calendar, always remember to add your lunch time, your break time, and all of those things. this whole place should be filled. It should be filled with content. It should be filled with your to-do, because by the time you list out everything you're supposed to do from the 6 a.m. that you wake up until maybe 10 p.m. that you sleep, or 11 p.m. that you sleep, all your time should be properly accounted for. So yeah, this is a quick tutorial on how to create your time block your calendar, using your tasks to time block your calendar. So let me know in the comment section if this was helpful. Have you been time blocking your calendar before now? How have you been batching up your tasks and just planning your day? Let's discuss in the comment section if you do things differently, and how generally what your feedback is for this video. So see you in my next video. Bye.